You know what's coming next? I know you got my text. I want you between my legs. Showing up for you. Can I put it on you?
What's up, you guys? I'm back with another YouTube video. You know, I gotta give you another story time. I know I'm busting down these story times. I really need that chill. I need to slow down. But you guys want them so much, so I gotta give them to you. So, I gotta tell y'all this story, right? Let me get myself together. Let me get positioned good, comfortably. Because this is the story of my very first time smoking weed. It's my first time. Okay, you guys. So you know I gotta give you the details of the story. So, let me get myself together. Get me real cute, like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway. So, so this was around the time that, you know, I was going over my best friend's house. And at the time, you know, I had been knowing my best friend since, like, I think 4th grade. What was 5th grade? Probably 5th grade. So I had been knowing her since 5th grade. I don't think we was going to school no more at the time. I had went over her house or whatever. I thought I was going to spend it. Well, the goal was to spend the night at her house for the weekend. So then we ended up spending the night over her mom's girlfriend's house, and which was fine. So when we went to spend the night at her mom's girlfriend's house, they had left for the night. So, you know, we had the whole apartment to ourselves. It was me, her, and her sisters. We had the whole apartment to ourselves. Luckily, her aunt lived next door to her mom's girlfriend at the time. We was at her mom's girlfriend's house, and her mom's girlfriend had like 2 kids. I think it was a boy and a girl. And they were itty bitty, like 4 and 5-ish, you know what I'm saying? And they were going out for the night. So they let us stay at the apartment by ourselves. So we goes over to her aunt's house because, of course, it was boring. There wasn't nothing to do. And I don't think the lady had, like, she had one TV, which was a living room TV. She didn't really have TVs in there like that. So, you know, we just went over to her auntie house. And we having fun or whatever, listening to music, vibing. It was some neighbors over and stuff like that. And so, and I think, I don't know if that was the night she met the father of her son, or if they had already knew each other. I don't really remember like that, but I know that, you know, the dude had came over, and, you know, at the time, you know, he was like a big weed smoker. So he came over or whatever, and he was like firing everybody up. And I was like, me and my best friend, we had never smoked like that. Mind you, I have asthma. She had like a medical condition where she couldn't really smoke like that. So then, you know, he offered for us to smoke, and we was like, nah. But we went to the kitchen, right? And we was like, we not gonna get high, and we not finna, and if we do, we not gonna smoke that much. Like, y'all, I kid y'all not. We was like, we not gonna smoke that much. Listen, dude said, y'all ain't never smoked before, right? Okay. So he made an extendo. He made an extendo just for me and her. Like, literally, it was like, if you're a weed smoker, you know what an extendo is. But if you don't, then it's basically two gauze put together and made it's gonna be a longer blunt. And so we smoking, and me and my best friend going back and forth. We trying to take as much as we can just so one of us won't be smoking more than the other. So she stopped. By the time, right, it got to one of the whole guards, she stopped. So I'm still smoking. Mind you, you know, it hits some people fast, but it don't hit everybody like that fast. But, you know, by the time I got to the second blunt, I was pretty high. So when we finished the first one, the first half, and we was halfway into the last half, and I had got high. Excuse me. I had got high. So then she was like laid out on the couch. She was kind of laughing a little bit. And me, I was kind of like, I was laughing, but I think I was over. I laughed too much. Like, it's like I started seeing double type stuff. So I had never been high before. So I'm like, bro, I can't breathe. Like, I couldn't breathe. I felt like I had ate a whole, you know what I'm saying, a whole edible or something. Like, I couldn't breathe. Like, and I'm like, bro, I felt like my heart was beating fast. I felt like I was, like, about to lose myself. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh Lord. So then we just sitting on the couch, just me, her, and you know the dude that she was talking to. She put her legs on him. I'm like, girl, she had, so mind you, it's a long couch, and I'm sitting on one end of the couch. She's in the middle, and he's on the other side. This girl turns all the way to put her legs on him, and then lean on me. I'm like, girl, get off me. Get off me with all that. Like, I was too hot for that. I was like, get off me. Get off me. And she was like, I think she felt like I had a problem with her putting her legs on him. But it wasn't that. It was, you doing too much on a 3-seater. Chill. Like, girl, do that. Y'all do all that in private. You doing too much. Y'all doing too much. So then we had gotten into a little, you know, little girl spat or whatever. So I was like, I'm finna go. So I left. And when I had went out the apartment, her aunt's apartment, mind you, we left that apartment. We left her mom's girlfriend's apartment just to come over to the aunt's house. And, you know, I was like, bro, I'm gonna go on back to the house. I ain't got time to play with you. So when I left out the house, she was finna lock the door behind me. And when she did, I seen this dude. He was like sitting there. He was sitting on the chair outside. It's late. You just sitting out here. And he kind of like, he kept looking, like, you know, like, kind of like watching me go to the next apartment. So, and this lady didn't have no blinds, bro. Okay, so now I'm finna get to the scary part. This lady did not have no blinds, so you could see into her apartment. So I'm laying on the couch, cause I'm so high, like, I like went and checked on her son or whatever because he was at the house, went and checked on him and stuff like that. And then I just kind of like, I was just chilling. Like, I went and laid on the couch trying to sleep that stuff off because, boy, I was too high. I felt like I was floating. Then I heard a knock on the door. And mind you, I forgot to lock the door. I just went in the house. And it was the man sitting in the chair. And he knocking and I'm not getting up. But then I looked up, you know, above me because mind you, I'm laying on the couch. I looked up. He was standing right there. He saw me laying on the couch. I'm like, bro, I gotta go answer this door. That's when I realized the door was unlocked. So I opened the door and I'm like, yes. And he was like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, you don't need to know my name. And he was like, just trying to talk to me, but he kept trying to put his foot in the door. Like, he kept trying to get in the door. And I'm like, like, you doing too much. I ain't have a knife on me. I ain't had nothing, y'all. I was not ready. I was too high. I was too high. If anything happened to me that night, I would have had to explain to Jesus why I had smoked that extendo like that. It wouldn't have been a good story. I would have been like, excuse me, Jesus. Listen, what had happened was, and he would have just banged the gavel right then and there because he already know I'm finna get ready to try to lie. You know what I'm saying? So that had happened or whatever. So I'm like trying to tell him, like, you know, I'm trying to short word him because I really didn't want, like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to walk in here? And I'm like, I started to close the door. Like, I don't know, something snapped in my head, like, start closing this damn door. And I started trying to close it on his foot. He was way bigger than me. Like, he was taller than me. I'm 5'2", so everybody taller than me anyway. But he was taller than me. He was, like, bigger than me. So I'm like, bro, I'm gonna have to hurt this man. I don't even got nothing to hurt him with. I ain't had nothing on me. I ain't my cell phone. I left it on the couch, boy. I was too high. So I'm like trying to shut the door. He just would not move. And I'm like, bro, I started cussing him out. Like, bro, you know, I don't want to say what I said because, you know, how YouTube be. But I cussed him smooth out. And I just started getting loud because that's the only thing that I could do. And I kind of, and he was like, all right. And he kind of backed up a little bit. and I shut the door, and this time I locked it, and I made sure all the windows was locked, but he didn't like leave right then and there. He just kept staring, and a part of me, like, I sat down back on the couch. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be in this apartment no more because I feel like he gonna come back. And I was so scared, bro, but I was so high. And I know a lot of people say when they get mad, they blow they high. But I could not blow that high for nothing. I was so high. I could not blow it for anything. I don't know how y'all end up not getting high all of a sudden, but I couldn't get unhigh. I was trying my best. And every time I be still, I would go right into a daze, and I was too high. I was too high, but I realized that me moving around a lot, talking a lot, kept me from my heart from beating real fast, from me being out of breath and all that. So that's what I kept trying to do. But I'm just sitting there. I'm like, bro, we got to get out of here. So I got the little boy and I woke him up. I'm like, come on. I put on your shoes, put on everything, put the jacket on, all that, because we not staying in here. I had took a butcher knife and to go outside because I wasn't playing with him. I'm not, listen, you too big. You about to get stabbed. So I took a butcher knife with me in case he was out there and he was finna get me that time. I was gonna stab the mess out of that man. I wasn't finna do no talking. He was finna walk up on me and figure out the real truth about me. So we got back to, I just remember opening that door and I grabbed that little boy and we took off. Like, little boy's feet wasn't even touching the ground. I was dragging him. I was running so fast to get away from that apartment because I didn't know where he was. And that was so scary to me. I got to the aunt house and I'm beating on the door. And her older sister answered the door. And at the time, her older sister was pregnant. She was pregnant at the time. And I was like, I told her what happened. And she was like, where he at? Where he at? She real crazy. She was like, where he at? Where he at? I'm like, bro, I don't know. I described him to her. And she was like, oh, dude that was sitting in the chair? Yeah, they was all trying to figure out where he stayed. I'm like, I ain't finna do none of that. I'm finna sit here. And she pregnant. She trying to fight. Girl, sit down. And I had the, I left the butcher knife at the auntie house. I don't know if the lady ever got it back or not. But and that's what happened. So the next morning, all of us got in trouble. We got in trouble because we didn't stay at the house we were supposed to stay at. We got in trouble because we were high. We got in trouble for a whole lot of stuff. And then, so I think like a week later after that, she, not a week, I say the next month, maybe 1 or 2 weeks in the next month, she called me, my best friend called me, and she was telling me that basically the dude he passed away. The man that was trying to do whatever he was trying to do, that was at the door, she was like, that dude passed away, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. God rest his soul. And she was like, that's cold. And I'm like, what's cold? And she was like, you ain't have to say it like that. I mean, he dead. And I'm like, girl, say it like what? Like what? How you want me to say it? Somebody try to rape you or do something like that to you. Yeah, you're gonna have some sympathy because death is a sympathetic thing. You know what I'm saying? We understand that that death is a part of life, but we understand that it hurts as well. But I'm just like, I didn't know the guy, and how I met him was very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to walk into a house he was not welcome in. I have no idea what the man was trying to do, and I felt like if I didn't yell, if I made that man feel like he could get his way, he would have. You know what I'm saying? No. So I'm like, God rest his soul. And I didn't really want to talk about him no more. She wanted to keep talking about him. I just wanted to change the subject because, And after that day, I said, I ain't getting high no more. I ain't getting high no more. But yeah, that's my story about how I got high for the first time. You know what I'm saying? you guys, if you guys want to hear more story times, I'm probably the next one probably gonna have to be a vlog. Now, come on, y'all. I know y'all love my story times, but y'all gotta get into these vlogs. Y'all gotta get into these mukbangs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I do got another story time. Or you know what? Y'all tell me in the comment section which one y'all want. So I already have a Q&A of like my wild, like you can ask me anything you want, my wildest Q&A. You can ask for that one if you want the Q&A, the wild Q&A, or you want my first time story time. So pick which one you want. You know what I'm saying in the comments. Do you want my first time story time or my wild Q&A? That's where I put it on Instagram. That's why I tell y'all go on over there. I put it on Instagram. And they asked me any questions that they wanted to ask me, and I said I'm gonna answer them on YT. I'm gonna answer them on YouTube. So that's what they did. If you have not followed me on Instagram, that's on you. Okay, baby, that's on you. Follow me on Instagram if you want to be updated, and if you want to be a part of something that's on the YT. Sometimes I might do a little something and be like, if you do X, Y, and Z, you can get a shout out or something like that. If y'all don't want to stay updated, that's on y'all. But I'll be on Instagram, okay? And it's always in the description below. The link is in the description below. Everything far as social media is in the description below. Okay, all you gotta do is click that little button. It's not even a button. You gotta click that little V thing, press it, it pull down the description, and it show you everything you need to know. Okay. Now, as always, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also share. Hit share to your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all your social medias. And as always, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share. And I am out.